Southbend equipment. We are working with the P36Ds, open top, and P36 flat top. Broiler. First things that we do on performance test is look at the equipment, make sure there's nothing visible is missing in the equipment, racks, grates, supports. Make sure that you got all your answer system located properly. Make sure that you look at the gas lines, what kind of gas lines you have, whether they are hard pipe, and if they are hard pipe, that the units are on legs. And not on casters. Okay, once you do your visual, the second step that is required by Southbend, especially Southbend, is for you to take picture of the equipment. Make sure that you have everything on it. Okay. Southbend require an angle picture in this section. An angle picture on the other side. A picture of the plumbing. A picture of any kind of regulators back in the unit. The unit has a regulator only to the salamander, no regulator applicable for either one of the units. Okay. A picture of the template, verifying serial number and model number of the unit that you're working with, and not only that, also the ancient water column that you're retesting. Once your pictures are all together and you're ready to go, first thing I always tell people, have your meters ready. This is about water column testing or manometer. I have my voltmeter just in case I have to deal with voltage. I have my amp meter just in case I have to do amperage voltage. In this case I don't have chances. The only thing I got to do is make sure the thermocouples are having the correct millivolts for the thermopowers going to the unitron. And make sure that the ovens are being calibrated and they are heated up to the temperature. Now, next step, once you have all this, is to remove all your knobs. Remove all the knobs, because you're going to need a clear access to do a manometer testing. Action. Let's go. Take two. Okay, so we have all right. Now, mind you, a lot of people like to rush. That's the biggest mistake. Don't rush. Don't try to make it fast. Watch what you're doing. Pay attention to everything. We know that the gas is open because the pilots are still turned on. Somebody had already tried to use the unit. Make sure that the pilot's on. So now that you have the faceplate off, turn the unit off. Cut all source of gas. Once the gas is cut off, there's a little nipple right here. That is used to place the barb in order for you to do the water column test with the manometer. So we're going to loosen this thing a little. That will work. Thank you. Make sure that you always put the parts wherever you can find them. You're gonna need everything later on. This one, pipe though. Understand that we are definitely doing just a startup and stuff like that. This pump is not staying there, but for safety reasons, for safety purposes, always put pipe dope or Teflon tape into the bar, as well as into the knob once you finish with the testing. It's nice and secure. For the manometer to be working properly, you got to make sure that your water line is completely on the zero. Okay, there are two water lines inside. There's the inner tube that shows you how much pressure, and the outer tube will show you how much poundage are in the line. These lines are made up to have half inch, no more than half-inch PSI, and this unit is designed to run at 6-inch water column. So that's that kind of gas pressure we're gonna do. Now there are two types of gas pressure testing that we have to do. One is called dynamic, the other one is called static. Dynamic testing is what we're going to do. Turn on the gas. We're going to see how much gas pressure is in the manifold. It's dynamic, being that everything is turned off. Static, for static testing, we're going to turn everything off, including the burner. We're going to blast them all up, oven burner as well, and we're going to see what the measurement is. According to the template, the unit at the oven, or the unit as a whole, should be on 6-inch water column. So if you have 7-inch and it goes down to 6-inch, that's good. If it stacks up in any other form, fashion, or way, then a regulator should definitely be installed to maintain the constant feed of water column. Okay, let's turn the gas on. And let's do the first test. So, according to my testing right now, dynamic, I got 1-inch PSI on the manifold of pressure instead of a half-inch, which would have been coordinated by regulator, and I have 9-inch of 9-inch water column going into the manifold. Now this is a lot of gas for this unit. This unit should be running from anywhere from 6.5 to 6. It's a lot, and we can't regulate it because it has no pressure regulator. Matter of fact, double check that. Yeah, it has no pressure regulator either on the units. So on this occasion, we have to tell Southbend, or we make notes about our measurements, and let Southbend know that the unit is running on the 9-inch water pressure at dynamic settings. Okay, now we're going to do static setting. See how you lighter? Now to keep the pilot going, once it's turned on, count 20 Mississippis. It should give enough time to build up the appropriate amount of millivolts in order to maintain the pilot valve open. I'm already mentally up to my 15. Pilot stood on, has the right amount of millivolts. Now, before we keep going, let's do a small test of millivolts. Have your meter setting to DC voltage. Then place one of your prongs into either side of the thermal power connection, and you will see the millivolt climbing rate. With a good pilot, you should have anywhere from 600 to say almost 700 millivolts. Just pilot alone, no, not the burner. When the burner is kicked in, it was gonna drop down a little bit, but not drop down below 200 millivolts for it will completely shut off the valves. Let's turn the unitrol to the on position so we could do a burner testing and turn the thermostat. Make sure that it's heating up. As you can see, it's beginning to heat up. It does have a lot of flame. And turn all the burners on. In this kitchen, there should never be no complaint about the burners being too low. Why? Right now we're running at 7 3/4 inch water column. That's what the market is at. Steady flow. This is 1 3/4 inch more than the unit requires. All this got to be noted so Southbend can see it. Okay? And that concludes part 1 of the startup. Thank you.
I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome.
Now, walk into the club like, what up? I got a big cock. I'm just pumped. I bought some shit from a thrift shop. Ice on the fringe is so damn frosty. The people like,
Damn, that's a cold ass honky.
rolling in hella deep, headed to the mezzanine. Dressed in all pink, set my gator shoes. Those are green, draped in a leopard mink. Girl standing next to me. Probably should've washed this. Smells like R. Kelly sheets. But shit, it was 99 cents. I get copping it, washing it. About to go and get some compliments. Passing up on those moccasins. Someone else has been walking in. Bummy and grungy fucking man. I am stunting.